Good morning, just doing a quick video here. This is my 1971 F100 F heavy duty special. It's a very rare truck. Not a lot of these heavy duty specials were made. They simply just included a bunch of like the original twin I-beams, had stronger springs. The frame is thicker on this, so this is quite a bit thicker than a typical F100. It's closer to an F250. Anyways, it generally had like heavy duty brakes and just better springs in the back, leaf springs and so forth. But I'm in the middle of doing a battle-born brakes four-wheel drive conversion, which introduces a 2005 plus 3/4 ton or 1 ton Super Dana 60 out of a Super Duty. This has got 373 gears and a matching 373 limited slip out of the same year Super Duty. These came out of a 2006 and have very low miles, but have been sitting for a while, so I've been wire brushing them and cleaning them up. I will kill the rust and the surface rust, and then I will put a coat of Pour 15 on the frame as well as the differentials and get this all looking nice and solid. It has the drop version. Battle-born Brakes offers two kits, one with less lift, which this one is, or one that has more lift, about 3 inches more lift, which can allow for 35 or 37 inch tires. This one's designed for 33 inch tires, 32 or 33, closer to what stock is for an F250 highboy. So that's what the plan was. I wanted to keep it more of that length or that height. Just to give a quick recap of what Battle-born does, they have these buckets which bolt into the factory bolts, and nothing needs to be drilled. Factory rivets were knocked out here, and then back down here. The track bar is mounted in 3 spots, one here and then one down here. I guess that's technically 2. Third would be the track bar itself. And then the cross member, because I went with the drop version, it's notched. Let's just get this thing to focus. Anyway, so it's notched, so that piece has been welded in, and the track bar bracket bolts to that. And then this piece here is a notch to allow a few inches of travel. Now this has all the weight on it right now, so it's sitting at about 3.5 inches that it can go up, and it'll have bump stops there to stop it. And you can notch it a little bit further if you wanted. I didn't expect, because with the rating of these springs, it won't see that kind of articulation. There's just quite a bit of heavy rating on it. So again, all the weight's on this truck, so it's not a big deal. The motor's in it and everything. The steering box, the original, gets removed, and you'll see it'll kind of free up that space down there. And the new Super Duty steering box goes here, which allows for a lot easier steering. And because of the way they did the Super Duties, this will have a much better turning radius than it did from the factory with the twin I-beam. But just wanted to do a quick recap. There's a couple things you have to do. You have to weld in that bracket, and then this is the steering box brace that goes across the frame. That needs to be welded in. Here's a slider pin that gets welded in. I'm going to mount the steering box in place, tack the bracket and everything in place, and then it's reinforced to the frame, welded, as well as the track bar bracket, and that ties it together nice and strong, keeps it real sturdy. This will allot for the front sway bar, so that'll get installed. I'm doing a Battle-born Brakes Super Duty power booster and master cylinder upgrade as well, because with these monster, so all the dust covers are getting replaced, and new brakes, new hubs, bearings, so forth. New calipers, pads, and all that are getting put in. And with that, the better braking. So with the Super Duty upgrade, you get the better braking front and rear, so it'll be 4-wheel disc. This side's a little simpler. It doesn't have the track bar, obviously, and everything's bolted in. So the track bar is aligned and put in place. But just want to do a quick recap. The rear, I'm going to keep the original leaf springs because they're in fantastic shape. The bushings are in great shape. And here's VIN number. There we go. Anyways, I'm going to keep the rear leaf springs. I'm going to do an add a leaf with a block, and that will kind of balance out the rear. It's only going to need a couple inch block in order to get the height to match the front. Now, if you wanted a little bit more articulation, you could do a couple inch lift up front, just like they do. Most people from the factory, they do the 2-inch leveling kit up front. So you could do that. Now we'll raise the front. You just need to match whatever you do with the back. Battleborn does sell a kit that installs 2017 year and newer Super Duty leaf springs, which they're much longer and have a smoother, softer ride. I opted to leave the rear alone since my width of the rear is already 34 inches, so no big deal. I have to move the perches on the Super Duty rear axle. So I've been wire wheeling this. It's got a little surface, but it'll have a new cover and whatnot. And I have brand new backing plates with new emergency brakes and new bearings. Seals will go in here. This thing rolls really smooth. Anyways, it's quite awesome. I'm excited for it. It's going to be quite the project, but I just wanted to do a quick recap of what we got. So the original purchase were knocked off because they were 37 inches wide and they needed to be moved in to 34 inches wide to match the stock frame width in the back. Anyways, the guy, just so you know, this is going to be for sale. I'm bringing a trailer sooner than later, probably in the next 4 or 5 months roughly. He had sprayed this undercoating all over it, and it's real sad. It's that rubberized stuff, which is fine for protecting it, but bad long term because it starts to flake off and it does dry up. So I'm going to clean this up as much as I can, smooth it out, and everything underneath is real clean. So the only thing rust wise, so everything's nice and solid here. Everything's really solid, no problems at all down below at all. But that the seat support frame does have some pitting in it, so I'm going to go ahead and replace that. And then of course the rear cab corners have a little right here, little flaking coming off just on the outside. The inside looks pretty clean, so I'm going to clean this all up, get the undercoating off, and then see if the cab corners look good. If not, I will replace them. But the bed, I mean underneath, I just pulled the seat out. It's just kind of sitting here, but it's all solid. Everything, it's just super clean. Super clean. Just got a little surface rust right here that just get cleaned up. Nothing big. This is where the fuel selector switch would go from the factory if it had multiple tanks, which it doesn't. So I'm going to put a block plate on that. This, again, this is an XLT Ranger package from the factory. So it's got all the original trim and the wood grain and whatnot. It will be a beautiful truck when it's all said and done. The original door panels I pulled off just so I can kind of clean up inside, make sure everything's real solid, which there's no rust. Everything's real good. I just put all new window sills in, window track seals and so forth, and new vent seals right here. So this is all cleaned up. But anywho, I got new weather stripping for the front and rear windows. but I'll get that done as well. But beautiful truck. I'm excited to have this thing done. I didn't want to sell it, but this one needs to go to allow for a crew cab project that I picked up. Anyways, thanks for watching. Take care.